Welcome to the Daily Podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair. This is the Real Healing Institute. I am a divine healer and spiritual teacher. Today I'm going to start by reading to you from the Christ Letters. The Christ Letters is what led to my enlightenment and what led to all of the spiritual teachings and completely changed my life. So we are going to start today. Jesus was talking to a group of people. He was talking about reaping and sowing. And he brought up an example of what happens if someone comes to you and they are begging and they need a cloak because they are cold. So here we are at page 77. Again, you may meet someone sorely in need who is cold and unhappy. He may ask for your coat. Don't pass him by glaring at him. Some people laughed. They knew this was what they would do. No, give him your coat, and if he's really cold, give him your cloak also, and go your way rejoicing. Rejoicing? A disbelieving voice asked. I laughed and said, yes, my friend, rejoicing. Firstly, because you had a coat and cloak to give, and then rejoicing because you realize that now you have a lack of a coat and cloak for yourself, and your Father within you will shortly return the coat and cloak to you in some surprising way. If, however, you give him a coat and cloak, and then you continue walking, grumbling to yourself, now why did I do that? I was foolish. Now I will be cold instead of him. And people will laugh at me because I've given my coat and cloak and left myself with nothing. And what will my wife say when I get home? The people were nodding and laughing, enjoying the picture of a man who gives away his coat and cloak and then remembers what an evil thing he has done to himself. I knew that very often they did deprive themselves to help others, and they regretted their generosity afterwards. I waited a moment, and then I shouted in a loud voice to get their full attention. But have I not told you that you reap as you sow? Have I not told you clearly that your thoughts, words, and actions create your future circumstances? So what do you want to sow to reap after you have given your coat and cloak to the stranger? Do you want your gifts restored to you? Or do you want to be without a coat and a cloak for a very long, long time? Because this is what will happen to you if you go on your way angry and upset because you gave away your coat and cloak. Your words and actions will seal, make hard like rock, the poverty you have brought upon yourself by giving away your coat and cloak. The people were no longer smiling and laughing. They were very quiet and listening intently. Remember, do first to others what you would have them do to you. Then there will be peace and contentment in your minds and hearts, and the Father will be able to do its love work within your bodies, minds, and hearts. Give, and give abundantly, and rejoice that you have gifts to give to those in need, because as you give, so will your gifts be restored to you in the way that you most need them. Give with happy hearts. Give with the faith and knowledge that where there is lack in your lives, so will the Father do its love work abundantly in you and for you. Do nothing with a heavy heart, because a heavy heart is what you will continue to have. Give everything with a joyous spirit, that everything in your life may bring to you only joy and spiritual insight. A man commented, "This is against man's nature. It is natural to be anxious about the future. Clothes are expensive, food is not easy to come by, life is a constant struggle." I answered him in a loud voice, because he was only saying what I knew most of my listeners were thinking. But you do not know for sure that tomorrow you will be struggling to live. You do not know tomorrow you will not have a splendid job or any other wonderful thing come your way. You do not know this. But you are making very sure for yourself that there will not be a marvelous job or some other wonderful opportunity in your life, because you are creating the circumstances of your tomorrows. He was angry. I am? How am I doing that? Have I not just told you? I turned to the people laughing. Tell me, how has this man up front in the red cloak created his tomorrows? The crowd was silent. Then a very young man, Mark, shouted to me, I know. He said he would be struggling to buy food and clothes. You have told us that what we think and talk about is what we will get. Exactly, I said. You are a very clever boy. You have understood. Take care that you do not create for yourselves the things you do not want, and I will be happy for you to become my disciple when you are older, and your parents will let you go." Some of the people laughed, but some did not. I could see they did not believe a word I was saying. "You will never enter the kingdom of heaven by being anxious. If you are having a hard time today, why moan about it? Will it make you feel better if you go about complaining? Will your crying brighten your day? And if you are anxious about your tomorrows, you are making your tomorrows burdensome and weary even before you get to them. Why do it? What good will it do for you? When did anxiety ever accomplish anything for you? You might as well try to make yourself taller by being anxious that you are short." So I really love this here because it's talking about everything that we talk about all the time. Reaping and sowing, that what you put out, you get back. And when we are not conscious of our words, and when we are not conscious of the thoughts that we have, we bring all of these burdensome things on ourselves. And the way to change that is to change your thoughts and to change the words arising from those thoughts, which in turn automatically changes the actions that you take. Jesus taught about reaping and sowing, and this was his biggest thing that he would preach about. He would preach about the love that exists within everything. If you would only but believe it, it would be all that you would see. And he would talk about reaping and sowing to show you that when you just believe in this love, when you only feed it, that it will be all that you will be witness to. So often we repeat our lives. Our days bleed into the next day and the next day and the next day, and every day seems the same over and over and over again, because we are creating our tomorrows through our past experiences and the beliefs that we hold within us. Let's say that you had something coming out. Let's say that there's a certain day of the week and you believe, oh, on this particular day of the week, this thing always happens to me. The reason that thing always happens to you is because you expect it and you believe it. And because you expect it and you believe it, it will be so. So why not expect and believe in something wonderful? And if you cannot do that, then you need to ask yourself why you cannot do that. What is it within you that is blocking you from the love work? Now, when I was just working with someone today, and this person is saying, I don't want to go on. I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to keep doing this. I just don't want to do this. Now, anytime that we say, I don't want to do whatever it happens to be that follows that I don't want, what is happening is we are hardening ourselves up. We are tightening ourselves up. We are resisting life, and we are saying, no, I don't want this life. And when we do that, the Father tightens himself up as well. And the perfect, beautiful love work of the divine cannot flow in and to and through us when we are resisting life. Now, maybe the life that you have you do not like, but you need to know that you are the creator of it, that it is you that has created this life for yourself, and therefore it is you that can change it. You can make your tomorrows better by believing something different today. All that we are witness to in our life is the creations that we have allowed in our mind. This is why some people, believe themselves to be lucky. They believe themselves to be lucky, and therefore they are. And some people believe themselves to be unfortunate, and therefore they are. It is all based on the belief. Therefore, all you need to do is change your belief, and you actually change your life. Now, some people think, oh, what a difficult thing that is to do, and you're right. It takes a lot of effort. We're growing, we're evolving. And we actually have to be an active participant in our life, and the only one that can change you is you. She can't change it, he can't change it, I can't change it. Only you can change it. Only you know what goes on in that beautiful head of yours, darling. You're the only one that knows. Even if you slept next to somebody every single night for your whole entire life, they would not know your life. They wouldn't know what goes on in your head. They wouldn't know you. They can't change you. Only you can change you. So if there is some area in your life that you feel like is lacking, examine the beliefs behind it, because all you need to do is change the beliefs behind it, and then the outward earthly experience that you're visibly manifesting will change for you. And I see this with my clients, that it happens that fast, that fast, that fast, just like that, as soon as the belief is shifted. And every time that we shift a belief, there's kind of this moment of like, when a new perspective is introduced. And this person can then gain and have relief from the thought that they had been thinking, the belief that they had had that was underlying. I worked with someone a couple days ago, and when I regress them back, because we do pretty much all regression work, so this is bringing people, that we're in the present moment, and I'm having them feel what they're feeling now, and we're going back into the past and following it back. And this person goes back to about 3 years old. And when we were finished the session, they're like, I don't even actually remember that circumstance. Like that had never, if we were to just consciously think about it, it would never come up. And I have this happen with people all the time. They might regress back to the womb. They might regress back to infancy. Sometimes even a past life. More rare in adults, but pretty common actually in children. But these memories, the point is, they will come up, and it will not be something that this person even consciously remembers, but yet it will be dictating every facet of their life and causing them to believe something, perhaps like that they're not deserving, or that they're not worthy, or that they'll be abandoned, or that they're not smart or good, or if they just behave in this way, then they'll be accepted, but if they behave in this way, they will not be accepted. And so then somebody could go on their whole life thinking, I need to do these things perfectly, or these people will not accept me, and it is not the truth. But because they believe it to be, they put all kinds of pressure and stress on themselves. They give themselves anxiety. They give themselves depression, all because there is an underlying belief that they're not even aware that it exists within their mind. This is why it is stressed so many times in the Bible, and it's stressed in the Christ letters, and in many, 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 many religions, to meditate. Because meditation takes you into the theta state. So it takes you into a different brainwave state that allows you to get out of your conscious mind, which you're in right now, and it allows you to get into theta. And as soon as you get into theta, there you can access all kinds of information in theta. Every single thing that you've ever known, every memory you've ever had, it's in the theta state. It's in your subconscious mind. And so we use this mind to go back and to understand and to find the beliefs that are there. How do we do this? Through regression work. I'll have people feel the feeling that they don't want or that they do want in their body. We'll follow it back. Where's this coming from? What are the things that you believed? What are the emotions that came up? What are the ones that you're still holding on to from that time way back in the day that you didn't even consciously remember? And very often people will be holding almost all of these past traumas and almost all of these past hurts, and they will be dictating their current life and the way that they feel. And because the way that they feel influences your thoughts, and it influences your words, and it influences your actions, it will change your life instantly when you change the beliefs that are underlying. Now, Jesus was trying to get people to see, like, hey man, they're like, yeah, but these things are pricey and we can't get clothes easy and all this stuff is hard, it's real hard. And he's saying, I understand that this is your current circumstance, and I'm trying to get you to see that the only reason that this is so is because you have a lack of mind control, essentially. You've allowed your mind to believe in all these things, and because it believes in them, and your thoughts are made of the exact same material as our world is made out of, it creates it. It goes out there, and it creates it, and then it presents it to you, because the universe doesn't know, I don't want this, I don't want that, I want this and I want that. It doesn't know these things. It just knows what you are. It knows the vibration, the frequency that you are putting out. So if you're a really cynical person, it's going to bring you a lot of things that are in the frequency of cynical, so that you have more things to be cynical about. If you're a really positive person, you're going to have a lot of positive things come into your life so you can keep being positive. If you're real negative, you're going to have a lot of negative things come into your life so you can keep being negative, because it's just responding to what you are. So when you can change this, and it doesn't matter if you're faking it, it doesn't matter. You can fake it. Fake it till you make it. They say that. It's true. It's whatever vibe you're putting out. So let's say that, and I did this. I trained my mind. When I left my ex, and he would pop into my head, I was like, no, you know what? I gave you, 20 some years of my life. You don't get any more of my time. You don't get any more of it. Not happening, man. So if he would pop in, or I would get a text or something like this, I would then put him up on a shelf in my mind. I would slide something in front of it, and I would think about something else. And at that time, I'm pretty sure it was puppies. I would just think of cute, like little adorable puppies. And it trained my mind to get him out of my mind. So we actually have to program our minds. So if you've had a bad habit, and I'm going to call it a bad habit, even though, it's not bad, nothing's bad, because it's all pushing us to a direction that we need to heal so we can improve ourselves, so that we can, have evolution on this planet, spiritual evolution. All these habits that we have, we need to interrupt the patterns. We need to interrupt those patterns. So when you get yourself in a thought loop, interrupt it. Put that thought up on a shelf, slide something in front of it, and think about something else. Now, that's going to help you with pattern interrupting. That's going to help you to change the thought loops that you have. But I'm not saying to ignore anything. We do not want to ignore things. So if there's something that needs to be addressed, well, you actually need to address it subconsciously by clearing it out of your mind. Now, you can do this through meditation. You could do this by working with somebody like me that does exactly these things. Or you could start to write it down. There's many ways that you can clear out your mind. But what you could do, you could go over, I have a free assessment on my website, and you could fill it out, and you could see the areas that you need to work on. So there's things like anger, resentment, sadness, shame, guilt, all these things. All these things are heavy, dense energies that are not helping you and that are keeping you out of divine alignment. They are keeping you out of being love embodied, which is, that's how you get enlightenment, is by being love embodied. And you can't be love embodied when you're resentful, or you're angry, or you're carrying guilt or shame or fear or any of those low vibrational energies. So you got to clear these out, clear out the mental house, and gain control of your mind control. And so as you start to work through these things, so many ways that you can do it, and you do it a bit at a time. You just do it a bit at a time. And as you're working through it, and make a conscious effort, have your spiritual practice, start meditating, start clearing out something, and as you keep moving forward, let's say that you just do a spiritual practice and you just do a little bit every day. Well, that's going to be a pretty big deal at the end of the year when you've got thousands of minutes that you dedicated to your spiritual practice. You are obviously going to be in a way better place than you were a year previous. And so think about where you're going to be in 10 years after that. The only way that you can go is forward. And it's only you that can change your mind. And it's only you that can forgive. It's only you that can choose love and choose divine alignment. It's only you. And the choices and the decisions that you make, they impact you and they impact other people as well. And so as you begin to clear up some of the karma that you got, because if you've been judgmental, if you've been critical, those types of things are going to come back at you and on you. And when they do, you can be thankful for them. You can think, what a blessing. Thank you for showing me where I still have work to do so that I can master myself. Thank you for this. And as you just become thankful for every little thing that flows into your life, every little thing that flows into your life is going to feel so much better and different, and it's going to change you in a beautiful way. This is what I have for you guys here today. Thank you so much. If you have not read the Christ letters, or if you've not listened to them, you can listen to them for free on YouTube. You can read them for free online. If you have any interest in working with me, you can always find my website down below and check that out. I'm also on Transformation Talk Radio. You can find that under the show on my website. And I will see you all tomorrow. You guys take care. Love you so much.